Hello everyone. Many of you knew the assassins when they appeared in the game Assassin's Creed, where the player assumes the role of a member of the sect to carry out assassinations against some important figures like crusaders, Muslims or other leaders. Really, the game has great historical accuracy, since the characters you kill in the game have already been assassinated by assassins in real life, at the same places and in the same real way. So today, we're gonna talk about assassins, their origin and some facts about their sect. Assassins appeared at a critical epoch of Islamic history and has always been the source of many stories and legends that have been woven around the leader of this sect, Hassan al-Sabah, and the impregnable fortress of Alman. Together we review some interesting facts about this controversial sect. The sect of the Assassins is an Ismaili Nazari sect that separated from the Shiite Fatimids in the late 10th century to call for the imamate of Nizar al-Mustafa and his descendants, and became famous between the 11th and 13th century, and their main strongholds were in Persia and in the Levant, the region between Egypt and Iraq, after some of Iran migrated to it. The etymological origin of the word assassin is al-Hashashiyan or Hashashan in Arabic, meaning hashish eaters or cannabis eater. But in some countries like France, the word assassin means murder or assassination, according to the French pronunciation. And this is a word that the French crusaders used to call Ismailis, who were killing their kings and army leaders. So they were nicknamed with this word, which was taken from the original word. The founders where they founded the castle of Alman, and even today the word assassins in various forms has entered into European use in the sense of stealthily or insidiously killing, or in the sense of a professional killer. The founder of the sect is Hassan ibn al-Sabah, a mysterious figure who has written a lot about it historically. And some researchers, especially Orientalists, consider Hassan al-Sabah the actual theorist of the concept of terrorism with its organizational concept, terminology, and ideology. He was the first to establish the concept of directed suicide. He was called the Paradise Seeker, so he was the first to establish a form of terrorist cells, which reappeared on the surface in different places in crisis. It is not known exactly who first built this famous castle of Alman, and it is said that the one who built it is one of the ancient kings of Dalam, in a region in Iran today, and called it al-Mut, meaning eagle's nest. Then it was renovated by a local Alawite ruler in the year 860 and remained in the hands of Aqaba until the assassins led by Hassan al-Sabah entered it. The governor of Alman was expelled from it, and it continued in their hands until the end. Many people think that the term assassins is associated with the drug cannabis, but the fact is that Ismaili texts are relative to the Nizari Ismaili sect to which the Hashashin squad belongs, and the Islamic texts do not attest to the actual use of hashish or cannabis by the sect of assassins. The military strategy of Hassan al-Sabah and his squad was very different from the one that prevailed in the Middle Ages. He avoided direct confrontations with enemies, which always lead to thousands of deaths, and relied on the selective assassination of prominent figures in enemy countries. The assassins were professionally trained in the arts of disguise, horsemanship, and murder. For this reason, Hassan al-Sabah founded a group consisting of the most loyal to the Ismaili faith and called them Fedayeen, which means always faithful, where children are trained in hearing and blind obedience, and when they grow up to become men, they train them in well-known weapons, especially daggers, and teach them to hide, to be so secret, and to kill himself in case of danger before he divulged a word of their secrets. So this creed of assassins terrified the entire Islamic world at that time. The assassins had to integrate into the enemy's army or the ruling court so that they could reach strategic places that would help them carry out their assigned tasks. And so they have been carried out for 3 centuries, assassinations against the religious and political enemies of the Ismaili community, and these attacks were often carried out in public places in full view of everyone to provoke horror. One of the most famous figures assassinated by the assassins was the great Vizier Nizam al-Mulk, a Persian politician. You can watch the film The Prince of Persia. In the film they talk a little bit about Nizam and a little bit about the sect of assassins. So this particular assassination is an operation that was the beginning of a long series of assassinations they carried out against kings, princes, army commanders, and clerics, including Conrad I, the king of Jerusalem, Tonkin, the emir of Mosul, and Ahmed ibn Ibrahim al-Kurdi, the judge of Isfahan, and also the Fatimid caliph commanding. There is no truth to the stories circulating about the castle of Almut, the most famous of which is what the traveler Marco Polo spoke about. He said that the castle has a large garden with palaces and rivers overflowing with wine, milk, honey, and water, and beautiful girls singing, dancing, and playing music until the sheikh of the mountain deludes his followers that this garden is paradise and that the girls are angels from heaven to encourage them to carry out the operations required. This was simply a lie because Almut Castle burned down in the year 1256, while Marco Polo was born in 1254, just 2 years after his birth, and the climatic nature of the Almut Castle, which is covered with snow for 7 months a year, also makes it unsuitable for gardening. The enmity was intense between the assassins and Saladin, the Sultan of Egypt and Syria at that time. The first attempt to assassinate him occurred while he was besieging the city of Halab in Syria, so some assassins managed to infiltrate Saladin's camp and kill Emir Abuk base, but Saladin was unharmed, and another attempt occurred when some of the assassins disguised as his soldiers managed to infiltrate his camp and attack him. They managed to kill many princes, but Saladin himself received only minor injuries thanks to the armor he was wearing, and after these events he took extensive precautions to preserve his life, sleeping in a wooden tower specially erected for him, and no one who did not know him personally was allowed to approach him. In the same year, Saladin advanced into the lands of the assassins, motivated by a desire for revenge, and laid siege to the fortress of Masyaf in the region of Syria today, but found that the war with the assassins is a waste of time because he has a war to win against the Crusaders. There is no place for enmity when interests meet. This saying is strongly believed by the sect of assassins, despite the intense hostility that was between the assassins and Saladin. But according to some historians, it allied with him to get rid of Conrad I, the king of Jerusalem, where the assassins managed to strike their biggest blow by assassinating the Crusader king. That's when they disguised as Christian monks and made their way to the bishop's garden. And when the opportunity arose, he stabbed him to death. It should be noted that 4 months after the assassination there was a truce between the assassins and Saladin. The actual existence of the sect of assassins ended with the Mongol invasion of Persia in the year 1256. The Mongols hastened to climb the walls of the fortress of Almut, which remained steadfast in the face of the strongest invasions. Ulugh began to admire the miracle of the military construction of the fortress, then ordered his soldiers to demolish it. And then the Mongols gathered large numbers of Ismailis, on the pretext of counting their number, but they killed them all. They continued to carry out terrible massacres everywhere they found Ismailis, ending with the presence of Ismailis. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to hit the like button if you like the video. See you next time.